So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in. So today we're going to talk about some side hustles that actually work in rural America. So a lot of people that watch my channel come from the country, come from an area that isn't really heavily populated. There's some things that we can't really do that maybe a city folk can do in the city. They have more different options. I wouldn't say more, but they have different options available than people who live out in the country. So I'm just going to quickly talk about a few that actually work here in the country that I either see people doing, I've done myself, or things that I've also seen people doing on Marketplace as well. I just got done actually training for a 5K. First time running a 5K in like 12 years, so it's been a while. That's why the hat's already all sweaty, and I ran without a shirt on, so that way it wasn't all super sweaty for the video because I knew I was going to film afterwards. But yeah, so I'm still kind of catching my breath and need a little bit of water, but we'll do that after this video. Anyways, so a couple ways to make money in rural America. Again, these are some that I do, some that I don't, but they're ideas either way. You can run with them if you want to. So one that comes off the top of my head, and one that we do on the side here and there, is sell firewood. So for cord of firewood, it depends what type of firewood you're talking about. Apple, cherry, pecan, oak, mesquite, they all vary in price. Basically depends on what types of trees you have in your area. So as you can tell, as I'm walking, we have a bunch of mesquite trees, but not everybody has the ability to harvest mesquite trees, especially people who come from the city. So if you live in a rural area, but you're still, you know, within an hour, maybe even 2 hours of a large metroplex, there's a good chance you're going to get a lot of people from the metroplex who would love to buy firewood. In this case, that's what we have. We have a big metroplex not too far from here, probably about, an hour or so. We sell firewood. So firewood, mesquite wood particularly for our area, goes anywhere between, I've seen it as low as like $450 all the way up to $1,200. Huge range. Again, depends if you're going to split it, size of the mesquite, the type of mesquite. There's some that's seasoned, and then there's some that is green. There's different ways that people sell it, but either way, between $450 $1,200. If you buy them like at the supermarkets, it's typically more expensive because there's a lot more middlemen, so it's usually closer to like the $1,000 range. Versus if you buy it from someone like us, we usually charge about $550 to $700. Just depends if they want it split, how big of the mesquite is. Are they little mesquite? Depending on the sizes of it, but most of it's between $550 and $700 most of the time. So, well, as I'm walking, there was a kind of off topic, but there was a turkey that just got attacked. I don't know if you guys see these feathers. These are all turkey feathers. A lot of deer tracks around here too. Probably a bobcat or a coyote got to one of the turkeys. We have a lot of turkeys that spend a lot of time out here, so one did not make it. Oh, and we got a big old tarantula. Man, it's just full of wildlife today. See, look at that big old guy. Big old tarantula. It's because we just got a bunch of rain. So I guess we'll see what else I find on the trail. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Didn't mean to get off topic, but like a kid, man, can't stay on topic here. But anyways, yeah, so mesquite sells pretty well in the country. There's gonna be a lot of people coming from the city to pick up mesquite. Another one that you can do is, like, if you live like in the hill country-ish area, or areas that have like cedars, a lot of people buy cedars to make fence posts. So I see a lot of people knocking down cedars and turning them into fences or selling them into fence posts. They make, you know, decent amount of money. They usually sell them for between, I've seen them as low as like $2 $3 per post, all the way up to like $10 $12 per post. Again, depending on the diameter, the thickness, and the length of the post as well. So again, there's many different ways to make money with wood. Now, there was a commercial show a couple years ago, I don't remember what it was called, but they used to sell these big old, like, I don't know what they're called, like walnut looking things. They're like these big old balls that grow on the mesquites and on trees. And those used to be worth a lot of money. I didn't even know that. I was watching it years ago when I was a kid, and they would go and chop these things down and sell them, and they were getting like thousands of dollars for these odd little balls that grow in the mesquites. It's wood, but yeah, they were selling them. So that was an interesting concept there. Now another side hustle, this is one I haven't done, but I have done with some old tires myself, and that's gonna be going around, especially down county roads. A lot of people dump tires down there. They're not supposed to, but people still do it. And people go around the back roads and dump all these tires. So I've had some old tires. What I do, I turn them into sleds for like pulling, for like training, for working out with. But I've also seen on Marketplace somebody like basically designing these tires and turning them into pots. They just basically paint them. I'm not sure what kind of paint they're using or what, but they are painting these tires and selling them on Marketplace anywhere between, I've seen like $30 to like $80, depending on the size of the tires and I guess the condition of the tires. Now it's something cute that a country folk might like, maybe even some city folks might like, but the cost to do that would be pretty cheap or inexpensive, especially if you just go around picking up all these old tires. Like I said, we can even go to tire shops. A lot of them have to pay to get rid of the tires, so they'll be happy to give them away to you if you're just basically not going to bring them back. You're going to take them and be done with it. I've even gotten some workout tires that way as well, some big old tractor tires to work out with for free, because again, they have to pay to get rid of these tires, so they're more than happy to give them away if people are serious about taking them. Again, I just took one, I didn't take a whole bunch of them, but still, for these littler tires, I'm sure they'll be happy to give them away I'm sure they'll be happy to give them away, because they do cost money for them to get rid of them. Now another side hustle, this is gonna be for somebody who is interested in doing some actual manual labor, and that's gonna be just posting your services at local supermarkets, local farm and ranch stores. Most small rural areas have a convenience store that a lot of the city people, or not city people, but a lot of the people visit for groceries, for milk, eggs, whatever. That'll be a good place to post your services if you're looking for just part-time work just to make some extra cash and you'd like to do labor-intensive work. There's probably going to be at least 1 or 2 farms or ranches that could definitely use your help. A lot of it is going to be fence maintenance, yard maintenance, tree maintenance, things like that. Nothing super intense unless you are, you know, open to whoever the owner of the property is or the boss is going to be, and be like, hey, I know how to run heavy equipment, or I know how to do X, Y, and Z. Then you probably can earn more money too, especially if you know how to run heavy equipment. A lot of farmers and ranchers could definitely use your services and would probably be willing to pay you more, because it's something that not everybody knows how to do. So it's a little bit more specialized skill. So you can actually ask for a little bit more money, or the person, the farmer or rancher, might be just willing to pay you a little bit more if you're willing to operate the piece of machinery or equipment. Now, another side hustle I've seen a lot of people doing lately, ever since the price of eggs really went up, and that is basically selling their eggs. It's a quick little side hustle. I've seen a lot more women doing this. So again, I know I make a lot of videos for men, but I know I have a few women that actually watch these videos. And that's good. That's something that, again, like I said, I've seen a lot more women doing this, and that is probably because they're cute, the little chicks. They are buying little chicks and starting their own little mini farm with eggs, collecting the eggs and selling them. Again, this was when prices were really high, but I still see a lot of people doing it, especially in my area, because I am pretty rural too. But it's a good little side hustle. Again, I've seen them between, I want to say like $5 a dozen, all the way up to like $12 a dozen at its peak. They'll probably come down a little bit between 5 and 8 today. But it's a good side hustle for somebody who just wants to make some extra cash, extra gas money. If you're in an area where you have like farmers markets or those little get-togethers where people can bring their arts and crafts and things like that, it's a good place to set up and sell your eggs too. There's a lot of people that love to buy homegrown. It's kind of like a new trendy thing, is to buy homegrown. So that's another quick idea, another quick way to make some extra cash. It doesn't involve a super huge investment other than building a little coop, which can be done relatively cheap, and also buying the birds to start laying the eggs. But again, if you gain any value from this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, be careful, be good, take care, God bless. See you guys later. Bye.